Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Sibling Showdown. We are back from a vacation last week. We are ready to get back into the Best Ball Mania streets, and we will do that in just 1 minute. Welcome back to Sibling Showdown, another live BBM draft. Steve and I are going to talk about all sorts of fun stuff, training camp, builds that we're liking right now, and of course, the ADP movement. But let me first say, Steve, how are you doing today?
Doing well. It's been ripping a lot of slow drafts mainly, but have a ton going right now from the slow puppy and all those other ones. Weekly winners, the eliminator, all those going right now. So been a lot to keep up, but that's what's fun about best ball. We do our work now and we get paid off in January.
Absolutely. So tell me a couple other quick things. I'm trying to do multitask here. What are you seeing what's been the biggest news for you in training camps that's moving the needle? Obviously with training camp news, I highly recommend Established to Run. I highly recommend Underdog Network. I highly recommend sources that are going to parse through the news and give you the actionable items you need to take. Because don't look at the social media, teams are just crushing it with slow motion, crap. Nobody cares. You need context. And those sites really give really good context to training camp highlights. I don't care who's making a flashy catch. We saw Jalen Hyatt and Quentin Johnson make a lot of flashy catches last year. Did that help us in best ball? No. Mm-hmm. So you need context to everything. What context are you seeing that you love right now?
So I think the best context we can get is from beat reporters, which these other sites are then, bringing together and giving us an idea. But it's who's getting used in what capacity. Now, we still sometimes need extra context. So a good example would be the Chiefs. We've heard a lot about Deneric Prince, his ADPs jumping. What people aren't saying is Clyde Edwards-Helaire is basically sitting out right now. So there's a reason why Deneric Prince is behind Pacheco and not Clyde Edwards-Helaire as Helaire comes back from injury and illness. But in other situations, this is the context that matters. We're seeing J.K. Dobbins actually being healthy and maybe being the number one, if not definitely the number two. Monty Vidal, everyone's favorite pick for the last 2.5 months, is clearly behind those two. And in fact, he might even be behind somebody else. So those are the types of things we need to keep an eye on. Those are the interesting things, the pecking order in terms of receivers, tight ends, running backs, and quarterbacks we just kind of know already, obviously, with a couple of exceptions, the Bo Nix and how the Viking situation pans out, and I guess the Raiders as well. But, these other positions, there's a lot of uncertainty. And like, for instance, talking about Bo Nix and the Broncos, of late, we've heard a lot of positive things about, Jaleel McLaughlin and Estime, not so much about Javonte Williams. At the receiver position, it sounds like Josh Reynolds is going to be a starter. I mean, he's a guy that I pegged as one of my favorite 18th round picks. He's now probably moving up to the 17th round at least.
So you said we haven't been hearing about Josh Reynolds.
No, we have been.
Okay.
It's been reported that he's out there in
Okay, yeah, I did see that in Hayden Wink's summary, from the Underdog Network. Yeah.
So I mean, it's those are the types of things where Troy Franklin just doesn't seem. He seems to be behind.
Absolutely buried. Yeah, absolutely buried.
These are the things we do need to keep an eye on. Are they all going to be perfect? Can guys still win jobs back? Come 3-4 weeks from now? Sure, absolutely. But just definitely things we are much more valuable than the slow motion clips, as you've been saying.
Exactly. Jared Patterson, are we scared? We got Justin Chat. Good to see you, Justin. So, and by the way, Justin and Andrew did their show earlier this week on Monday. Check that out. Spread was on yesterday. DK, obviously live draft. And then obviously we are here back today on Wednesday, and I am back, Friends of Best Ball, on Friday. at 6 p.m. with Sebastian. He was on with Andrew and Justin, I believe, a month or so ago. You can find him, I believe, on Twitter at DGenDoc, but he's in the physical therapy world, medical world. He knows the stuff, and I'm going to ask him all the questions medical related. And with that said, a couple other quick announcements, and then we will look at Best Ball Overlay. We will look at my exposures, on Best Ball Overlay, and then we will jump into a draft. So the quick announcements, number one is we have an 8-hour live stream on August 23rd. It'll be from 4 p.m. to midnight. So it's Friday, August 23rd. It's basically taking Friends of Best Ball and expanding it to a happy hour and doing a full night party. So look at it that way. So 8-hour live stream, mark your calendars, Friday, August 23rd. 4 to midnight. Already got our first guest. I'm going to tease it. Justin Herzig is joining us at a little after 4 o'clock, and then we will have guests lined up throughout the evening. So get ready to party with us on Friday, August 23rd. The next announcement number 2, and then we'll be talking about these all month long or all the rest of the season. We'll be talking about this until we hit it. We have over 300 subs. Getting that first 1,000 is the hardest. So road to 1,000 subs. $1,000 of giveaways when we hit 1,000 subs. So we all sorts of fun giveaways, but $1,000 of giveaways when we hit 1 subs. It obviously, unless it does happen by August 23rd, it's not happening then. It'll happen when it happens. We will do a big giveaway party when it happens. So help us get there. We offer a ton of content. We're doing 4 to 5 live drafts a week. We're doing, 1 to 2 strategy shows a week. And we've got a ton of free content over on fanspeak.com as well. Everything's free. So hopefully you enjoy that. We've been trying to keep it consistent all summer, but we're going to ramp it up even further here in August as we turn the calendar to August tomorrow. It's our mother's birthday, so happy early birthday to our mom. August 1st is when I start to get nervous about exposures. So that leads me to the last reminder, Steve, and that would be, if you haven't checked out Best Ball Overlay already and you do care and you have a big portfolio to manage, I highly recommend checking out Best Ball Overlay, bestballoverlay.com. Use code FANSPEAK and you will get $10 off per month. So it goes from 30 to 20. It'll be just $20 a month with code FANSPEAK. That's less than 1 BBM. And it really, really, really helps you manage those portfolios in multiple ways. And of course, it has the overlay, which you'll see in the live draft, to help you make educated decisions. And you can do rankings. Those are the 3 big things: rankings, the overlay itself to help make the live decisions in the drafts. But honestly, my favorite part is what I'm going to use so heavily in August is the portfolio manager. Yeah. So with that, let me leave this up. Let me bring over, Mama Shao, happy birthday. Yep, that's right. I won't say her age or mine. V-Day tomorrow. Justin says he dropped Reynolds in Dynasty, pissed him off. Was betting on Mims to win the number 2 job. Reynolds was one of my favorite round clicks last year, and I'm starting to take Steve's advice and incorporate him this year. So I'm going to bring over. And just on that, I do think Mims can still pay off. I think he's just going to be your spike week guy for the team. I've been drafting Mims a lot in weekly winners. Yeah, Reynolds is going to be the more consistent guy. He might have a spike week or 2 in him, of course, but he's going to be the guy who's just getting around 10 to 15 points a lot more often. Okay. Well, I need to pull up Pat's notes because Best Ball Overlay, and this is, of course, Pat and Josh, Pat from Fancy Dog Pound and Josh, they are crushing it on Best Ball Overlay. And Pat sent me a bunch of notes. I can't even keep up with all their updates are so amazing. So I can see some updates I didn't even realize about. And I didn't do my most recent update. I did just hit, I'm doing a total of 200 regular drafts, meaning not weekly winners and super flex and the early stuff and sprint and marathon and all that stuff, because I'm going to do plenty of that too. I'm doing 200 total, and over 100 are my goal is to be the smooth, nice, and pretty advanced rates. Let's come on, underdog. Let's drop some more. I need some more of those. I'm getting greedy. So I hit my goal. I hit a milestone 100. So I'll be doing hopefully 100 more. I hit 100. I don't think I did it after 100, but it's 90 some teams. It's close to 100 teams. So let's take a quick look. Hey, Rod Conklin. Yeah, I like an Aaron Rodgers. Conklin is super, super high for me. But as you can see, you can check out your basic exposure. You can sort it by the different tournaments. As you can see, all the different tournaments that I have, like Domination, Pitbull, Poodle, Greyhound, Golden, all the other things besides BBM. So sometimes that's important for you to if you just want to look at BBM, then you could just look at BBM. Then you can look at your different types of builds in that. So in BBM, you have 0 RB. That means that they've redefined, and Josh from Best Ball Overlay said he's going to put the definitions in. The definitions of 0 RB, hero RB have been kind of redefined, essentially, based on the falling of the running back position. So they define 0 RB as like not taking RB through like 8 rounds. I rarely do that. And a hero RB would like not taking it through 4 or 5, I believe. Maybe modified hero is taking it. I'll get the exact definitions, and they're going to be up here soon. But basically, 0 RB is like hammering other positions basically before round 8. I don't do that. As you can see, I have one team that does that. Hero RB is basically, I want to say it's like one running back in the first 4 rounds, give or take. Modified hero RB is, I want to say, taking one running back in the first 8 rounds, or at least one running back in the first 8 rounds. But then you get to the double anchor, and this is where you'll see double anchor RB and modified double anchor RB are, and let me go to all tournaments because I know that's where. So if you go to all tournaments, I just have 1 0 RB, and then, but it's good to look at this because then you can see the different types of builds you're doing. And I have no shame in my game. I've written 2 articles about it in the last week. I'm very, very heavily on. So I just have a little bit of hero RB, modified hero RB. I'm very, very heavy on double anchor RB. And that essentially means I'm leaving the first 6 rounds with a running back, I believe is the definition. Yeah, because Josh Jacobs is like 5th or 6th now. And then modified, I'm guessing, would be like leaving the first 8 rounds maybe with a double. Yeah. So as you can see, 40% modified double anchor, 33%. So 78. Steve, I'm terrible with math. 73%. Yeah, 73% of my portfolio right now is double anchor or modified double anchor, which again is different than what it used to be. But that's what I strongly believe in is the edge this year. You may not believe that, and you may lean into a different strategy, and that's where you can see it all here, and this really helps. So there's that. And again, I wanted to show this because it does speak to, check it out on fanspeak.com. I wrote an article about if you want to take the double anchor RB to the next level and do a hyper fragile where you're drafting essentially 4 that you feel really good about that they're going to, 3 of them are basically hitting your lineup basically every week. You have 4 total, and that's it. And then you obviously address the other positions a little later. That's hyper fragile. Then I wrote about the double anchor, modified double anchor, which I currently have 73% of. So obviously I feel very strongly about 2 articles up on Fanspeak. Check them out. I did a tweeted 2 of my favorite lineups using those strategies. Liked them both, got mixed review feedback. And then over here, first of all, you also have graphs too that they've started. So you pull up your recent exposures, you can see like playoff stacks that you're leaning into the heaviest, as you can see. And I knew this was going to be the highest. Dallas Philly games do tend to shoot out a lot, followed by Buffalo Jets. I think that's really because I've gotten plenty of Allen, and I am very high on the Jets all around. So it doesn't shock me, followed by the one that everybody's trying to target, Detroit, San Francisco. So this is really cool to see. And then if you go back over to exposure, you can obviously see your different exposure. Now it looks like they've got like the chart of what if the player is going up and down in ADP. I need to dig more into this. Did you see that, Steve?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But the coolest thing I like, and I'll do this very quickly, and then we can get into a draft. And I've shown this before, but he mentioned Justin mentioned Aaron Rodgers. Let's look at my Aaron Rodgers. So of my Aaron Rodgers builds, this is who is on them. So as you can see, you hit combinations 100%. And again, you could then sort it. Oh, I had it sorted by modified.
I was going to say it's probably only into the modified.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go to all builds, all tournaments. Sorry, I put it to all tournaments, all builds. And yeah. Okay. And then let me do it again here. Okay. So all tournaments, all builds, Aaron Rodgers, who do I have with him? So you click combinations, and then you can see the different combinations. To no surprise, it's 40% Mike Williams, 30% Conklin, and then 33% Garrett Wilson. So of all my Aaron Rodgers teams, that's the breakout. So I'm obviously not just doing Aaron Rodgers when I have Garrett Wilson. I'm obviously sometimes backstacking him or stacking him with Mike Williams or both. So, and then you can see the other guys that I have high exposure to. So, early guys like Henry, you might want to say, okay, maybe I'll pump the brakes because a quarter of my Aaron Rodgers teams have Henry, stuff like that. That I think is super, super helpful. Any other thoughts on all these features, Steve, before we jump in and use it in real life?
No, it's extremely beneficial. And yeah, like the best thing is how it helps you during the draft. To see these exposures, to see the playoff matchups.
That's what we're going to pull over now.
And your correlation. So, the data is great as well.
Yes, and I'm going to leave it up to help make educated decisions even in the portfolio, because again, now's the time to push exposures. And I was going to post my exposures the other day, and then Roman Wilson almost gets carted off, scared the hell out of me. I think it'll be okay. But I decided, I was like that. Michael Scott. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't post my exposures, but you'll see my exposures in every draft because it's right in the live draft. And then as I'm looking at my portfolio, and let me tell you, I'm going to be using this thing daily because I want to do even better than I did last year. I was very cognizant of my exposures last year, but I want to be very cautious of my exposures and combinations this year. And I already know there's certain players I need to pump the brakes on, certain players that I desperately really want more of. And it's not just because of a couple of flashy highlights. It's just I didn't maybe get them in particular pockets, like a DK Metcalf or something like that. So there are guys that I know I need more of. There are guys that I want to hold back on. And Best Ball Overlay is going to help me make those decisions. So we're going to get in a draft. If anybody wants to jump in with us, again, to the 2 quick reminders, mark your calendar, August 23rd, 8-hour live stream. And then help us get to 1K subs, and you will be a part of a $1,000 giveaway party. So 2 parties we're talking about here, guys. And if you want to join, I'm going to try to join on my phone, Steve, because I know we've had issues before. So let me join on the phone, and then I'll pull it up. So if you would like to get in a draft with us, we are going to go live in 3, 2, 1 now. And there are 4 more to start. So now let me bring this over. I only got 2 slows going. That's why I need some more of these good advanced rate drafts. And then I'm sure I'll be jumping in. So we're waiting on 2. And then let me just adjust the screen a little bit while we're waiting here. Give me 1 second. So Steve, what guys, players are you kind of bumping their exposures the most? Guys, let's start with guys that you, know that you want to get more exposure to, essentially. Are there a guy, like I mentioned DK Metcalf just off the jump? Like, are there guys where you're like, oh my gosh, I need more?
Metcalf, somebody that I'd like to continue to get more of. Honestly, the more I look at, the more I want to get more exposure for the Bears receivers across the board. I feel like 1 or if not 2 are going to be really good. Probably not all 3. Just where they're being drafted, it's tough for all 3 to hit. But we just have such talent in that group. Moore and Allen have been great, especially Allen. I mean, Allen was like wide receiver 3 when he got injured last year. And then Rome Odunze, he'd be the number 1 receiver on any number of teams in this league. So, I want to get more of the Bears receivers. I was hoping we'd see a bit more of a slide for like Allen and Odunze. Hasn't happened yet. But I do want to just start jumping in on those guys a bit more.
Okay, let me bump that up size-wise. I've just been messing with the screen, so give me a minute here. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Okay, so we're at the 3 spot. As you can see, for me, I would like a little more. I know you're higher on Chase and I have a draft finishing up right now with Chase. I would like a little more Hill. So we're on the clock. I'm at 6% Hill. Are you fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think they're both great.
I mean, honestly, you can't really, it's the first round guys, but I'm going to try to be smoother about my first round. But with that said, the first round guys outside of of course, I love when I get the 1 or 2 spot and I get Lamb. And let me go over here. We got Brees Hall at 4. I like that. And so obviously someone wanted to push their exposures a little. I don't think I recognize anybody in chat.
Isn't that Justin?
Oh, no, it's Justin at 6. Okay, there we go. We got Justin at 6. I was trying to look for names, and yeah, Justin took Justin Jefferson. I like it. So yes, we got Justin in the draft with us. I don't think I recognize anybody else that I can see. But I'm glad that you were able to get in with us, Justin. Steve, he wanted to know, are you maxing BBM?
I'm not going to be maxing BBM. I'll probably be around Meg, shooting for 75, so about half.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a lot more total tournaments. I'm at 300 so far total, and that includes the Superflex, the weekly winners, all those. And I want to be over 500.
So you want to be over 500 total? Yeah. Is that on Underdog or 500 total?
That's on Underdog. That's an Underdog.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that'll be much more in total.
In part because of the Gladiator program that they released, 500 is a benchmark. So we're already at 300. Why not get up to 5? So I'm actually way behind on the BBMs. I only have 12 done so far.
Well, you're
going to start picking it up.
Leaving it a lot for the good time of year to do it. So that's good. I'm actually, funny you mentioned that, Justin. I'm actually doing a contest selection, about kind of what are your goals, what are your, what is most important to you. And he said, damn, 500 is a lot. Yeah, it gets you, like you said, gets you that Gladiator benchmark. My goal is over 250 on Underdog since, since the NFL draft. 250 isn't the other benchmark, right?
Yep.
So my goal is
BBM launched.
Yeah. Since BBM launched, my goal is 250. So that's why my goal is roughly 200 of the of the traditional type. I'll just say it that way, what we're doing now, and then the other types of tournaments like this, right now I have a slow, Corgi and a slow Bulldog going. So I'm basically doing anything 101 and down, smooth advance rates. But I'm going to be talking about that, about contest selection, what goals you want to hit. Like Steve wants to hit the 500 Gladiator program. I think those are just all things that people talk about a lot in DFS, don't really talk about as much in best ball. And the reason I want to talk about it, just a quick evergreen show, is that I really had regrets last year that I did 50. I had 100. I had close to 150 on Underdog, and it was it was 50 BBMs, and then everything else was really those tough, a lot of puppies and that. And last year, the Underdogs made all their advance rates much better this year, in my opinion, and BBM's much better. It's awesome, but with that said, it's still 1 of 13, 1 of 16 to make the finals. And, the puppies this year, I think they're better, but they're 1 of 10. So I've been with an advanced rate snob. My thing last year was I only did literally 4 or 5 total of 1 of 6, 1 of 5, that kind of stuff. And then I wondered why I didn't have a finals, appearance. And listen, I made the finals the year before in 50 total drafts. So, for those of you that out there that don't have to max enter, I literally had 9 BBM and 50 total drafts in 2022. And I made the BBM finals, hence why I got hooked. And then the following year, I had about close to 200 draft. Oh, we're up. And then I'll talk more. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So we are up in 2 at pick 22. Of course, Barkley's there, or so far. So I'll queue up ones that I need to kind of get more exposure to. I'm a 9% Devontae. I do think I need more Ayuk. We'll talk about that video I saw today. I don't know that I feel totally, Chain just went off the board. I haven't done much the Chain Hill type stuff, because I think that you need to hit an elite outcome. So, you got the Saquon, Ayuk, Evans, or Devontae. I'll let you choose, Steve.
I mean, I can't pass up Saquon.
Okay.
I'm just taking a ton of him.
Well, I'm already at 16%. Do you think
Yeah.
I should try to get some more Ayuk? Or, I mean, it leans into what I've been talking about, though. We have an opportunity to walk away with 2 in the first 6, potentially. Now, we'll be back up at 27. Just want to think through things through. I don't know how much I've done of this, of the Henry Saquon, but I can check quickly. How much of the Henry Saquon have you done?
A decent chunk. I actually like taking receiver round 1, getting running back round 2 and 3 here, if I have this kind of pick. I think it runs you, and then you can just wait.
I do have one to a Tyreek, Saquon, Henry. Now, doesn't mean I can't do it again, but so I don't know that I feel like I have to do it, but because you could also, we'll be coming around back at, 46, we could get a receiver or a running back there too. So what about Evans or Cup?
Yeah, I would probably go Evans in some due to your exposure difference between the two. I like Cooper Kupp a lot. I think he could be really great. But Mike Evans is also a touchdown machine. He gets at least 8 touchdowns basically every year, many years over 10. He's not going to have as many catches as Cooper Kupp or a number of receivers in this area.
Oh, I don't have any Evans of that, so that's good.
But
sorry, I was checking
Evans' value on underdog is very high.
Okay, so let's pull over the board. So I started Hill, Saquon, Evans, and then Justin got Derrick Henry. Good for you, love that. I had multiple. I mean, and I'm not mad about it. I actually and I think I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. I'm not sure if my Bulldog has Saquon Henry. It may, but I had 4 of my 90 some had Saquon Henry, which again, not love it, but I didn't realize I also had a Hill Saquon Henry. So that's the whole point of the best ball overlay and the portfolio optimizer, because it's easy to kind of be like, well, I freaking love this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just keep doing it. And that's what I just want to mix up a little bit more. So love Justin's start. He got Justin Jefferson, Debo, which Debo doesn't always fall to the mid-second now. And then Henry. Absolutely love that start. To finish, I'll leave the board up, but to finish what I was saying earlier is, last year I did about, I want to say on 3 different sites, I did about close to 240 drafts total. And, but most of them, all the ones on DraftKings were Millie Maker, all the ones on 50 BBMs, and all the rest were like puppies and just ones that didn't have good advance rates. So my thing this year is I'm just trying to be, I want to do 250 for the Gladiator program, hit the 250 and get the, rake back on that. And then I want to really, really be an advance rate snob. So outside of BBM, I'm doing a goal of 75 BBM. And then outside of that, I want to do like 100 to 125 of just excellent, smooth advance rates, 2 of 10, 1 of 6, 1 of 5, 1 of 8, something along those lines. So that's what I'm doing. But I like the 500. I know Steve is working towards the 500 because anytime I see him, he's got like a gazillion slows going. So how are you keeping up in the slow draft streets, Steve?
Good. I mean, it can be tough, obviously, with these different formats. They have some different, eliminator versus weekly winners versus marathon versus the regular drafts. There's different strategies for some. Some guys are much better in other formats than others. I also am doing some of the college football ones, so that's also part of.
Okay, yeah, counter. Yeah, I saw they released another one today. We got Felix in chat, Best Ball Nation. If you don't know already, we had Felix on Friends of Best Ball a few weeks ago. He won the DK Millie Maker a couple years ago with Najee, with Cooper Kupp. So he has stayed loyal to those guys, and I absolutely love it. Best Ball Nation, he does a ton of live streams, so check him, Felix and Best Ball Nation, out over on YouTube. Easy to find there. So I will keep pulling over the Best Ball Overlay Optimizer to help us make decisions. But we'll be coming up again in the 4th, and we'll be at 46 and 51. So again, by the definitions of kind of probably modified RB, modified double anchor. If we got one running back in these two, we'd be doing that. And that's what I'm at 73%. Hashtag no regrets. Hopefully spelled the right way. I'll get a tattoo of it if it works. So Justin takes Christian Kirk here. We'll bring over the board. As you can see, I have a lot of George Pickens. And I've been taking, now here's one that I wouldn't mind doing, Steve. I need more like Mahomes. I know you could just queue up but I'm only at 7% Mahomes. Do we do like a Mahomes Hollywood? And then hell, if we still wanted to get, or do they have the same buy, right? Yeah, they do. Yeah. So we don't have to, or do you not like doing
I'd rather have Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is going to.
Right. Okay. So you're saying you don't have to have Tua on every Hill team. No. And
in fact, that can help make you unique. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up Hollywood. As you can see, the little green parentheses is showing you when you get more quarterbacks, second quarterback's yellow, third quarterback's red. And if it's underlined, it's a bring back. If it's in parentheses, it's a stack. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up Hollywood. I do have 14%, but don't mind that. I know we talked about the running backs. Let me just make sure. I mean, if I were to take one, it would be someone I have 17% of, and that's Josh Jacobs. We also could try to take Josh Jacobs and grab another. Now I'm not as high on the other KC receivers, but I don't mind.
I would take Hollywood here. Jacobs has been falling some. I'm not saying he necessarily will here, but
he's not going to fall to the 6. But
probably not. But I would rather take Hollywood Brown.
How far back is Rice going? He wouldn't probably come back to us either. No. Or not Rice. I meant Worthy. Okay, we'll just take Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at the board. So we started, just to be a little different, because that's one of the things is in looking at my exposures was, oh my God, you've got to get more Mahomes on your team. So, when I get Hill, I'm usually looking to stack up Tua, but it doesn't mean he has to be my first, quarterback. So, or be the main stack, I guess is what I'm saying. So like you said, this could be quite unique. So we started Tyreek Hill, Saquon Barkley, Mike Evans, Patrick Mahomes, Hollywood Brown. Justin grabbed Christian Kirk and good old Scary Terry here in the 5th round and coming back around now. So
I like what Justin's doing, anchoring with Henry, 4 other receivers, really strong. I mean, McLaurin, not so much good offense, but he's going to be the number 1 there. Same with Justin Jefferson, probably some questions on the offense, but he's going to be the clear-cut number 1. And then, Kirk, he could be the number 1 on that Jaguars team. And even if he's number 2, he can pay off this spot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So when you do and you'll have to check and look at your best ball overlay to see how much double anchor or modified double anchor you have. I assume it's a very high percentage too, right?
Yeah.
Who are your 2 favorite running backs? Like that's something when I said the whole, I feel like I've done a lot of like Saquon, Henry. And again, love that. That's probably my favorite combo is getting Saquon in the 2nd, Henry in the 3rd. Cause like you said, you could get a receiver in the 1st then. I also like a Bijan Henry or something like that. Obviously anything with CMC and then a running back at the 2-3 turn, at least one, so there's a lot of different combos I like. Do you have like a favorite combo of like, or even if it's like one later, like I want to get more Pacheco. I doubt did he already go?
Oh, he went 3rd. He went super high.
Oh, that's super early for him. Yeah. He's been going in the 4th, solid 4th. Yeah. But it's 5th round now. So what was I thinking? So Pacheco's one I want to get more of. Obviously in this, we're leveraging off Pacheco and doing a home stack, but Pacheco is one that I want to actively work to get a lot more of. So I think I'll be doing a lot of double anchor builds where I do like a, name any running back I love in the first 3 rounds and like a Pacheco. That's going to be something I want to get a lot more of. And then being able to look at the combos on Best Ball Overlay will be nice to see, okay, well, I have these combos of running backs. Who did I stack with them? Like, I don't want to like do all these like Barkley, Henry or Bijan Henry or CMC Kyron or, all these different things, CMC Pacheco, whatever it is. And then say, oh, I love that. But then I didn't even stack them with some of my favorite quarterback stacks. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that then I'm doing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No. So who's your favorite? Who would be a couple of your favorite combos?
My favorite are kind of the 3, because I love either anchoring with them or having them as a second guy with a, CMC Bijan Hall. But that's Saquon, and then Henry and Kyron. I just think those three guys are just in such prime positions. I don't know
So
if you
any
saw
any two of the three, at least, of Saquon, Henry, Kyron.
Yeah, or two of those, either one with one of the top guys or two of those in like rounds 2, 3. It's just the amount of carries and touches and red zone work, and even catches, especially for Saquon and Kyron, it's just so high. I mean, their chances to smash.
Oh, the touchdown.
There's only a handful of receivers who, if those guys are healthy, are going to outproduce them, and most of them are going to be gone by the end of the half of the first round.
Wow. Oh no, that's 65. I was going to say, wait, that's early. That Kittle's another one that I'm like, oh God, I want more of this like range of tight ends, like the Kittle, Kyle Pitts, Ferguson's, Kincaid's. I need more of that whole range. Lad McConkey goes, I have a ton of him already, but I don't even care that I'm going to chase him right up the board. I think we're looking at a Rookie of the Year candidate. I mean, I know, yes, some of that's the camp videos, but they are just saying like the connection is kind of what we thought all along. So you do have Rachaad White there if you wanted to get like a double, anchor in the first 6 rounds. And then
White or Deontay Johnson here.
Yeah. And then I was going to say, or you got Deontay Johnson. So
because we're definitely going to get a running
9%
back
of each. So I'd
go Deontay Johnson.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because I think there's going to be a running back here at 75.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's true. I like, I do like some of these other receivers, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. So I need more of both of these guys, but I do need more Deontay. I mean, I love the coach speak when he's like, when we're out there, we're just looking, where's Deontay? So, okay. So obviously I assume you were talking about David Montgomery.
And Kamara and Stevenson.
Okay. Yeah, there was some good coach speak on Stevenson too. Like the run, I know like not a good offense. Usually I try to target good offenses. And of course, hey, if Felix is listening, come on.
Yeah.
Show a little respect
for Stevenson or Harris. Like I'm fine with that.
Where we're going, we won't come back till 94. So these guys aren't coming back. So we should get a running back we love. I'm at 12% Montgomery, 3% Kamara, 10% Stevenson, 26% Najee.
Yeah.
There is already correlation to Najee with the stack. So you tell me what you like the most quickly.
I like probably Monty, Kamara, Harris, but I'm fine anyone.
Okay. I'll let you decide Monty, Harris quick.
Go Monty. I think go with the value here.
Okay.
You have plenty of Najee. That's
I
fine.
do. I'm sorry, Felix, if you're still watching.
No. So one thing I will say, the interesting thing with Kamara is
let me just say a quick hide. You let Felix down, Steve. You said I had 26%. That's enough. I say Felix.
Well, I know he has the inverse of that, 62%, or actually probably much higher.
No, he's got like he just showed it was like 80-some%, right, Felix? And then we got our guy Spread in chat. Spread, good to see you. Check out his DraftKings live draft from yesterday. And there was the correlation, but I do need I do love Monty and just gain access to that Detroit offense. So go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, the point I was going to make is, Alvin Kamara, people were saying, oh, Kendrick Miller is going to be a thing. I mean, the coach is like, he might not make the team. Like, what are we doing? Like,
what are we even doing here? Yeah.
So, people have just totally buried Alvin Kamara, one of the most productive fantasy running backs of the last
I do like him better on like a PPR side. I don't like him as much on here.
Sure. His touchdowns have been weak the last 2 years, but
exactly
3 years ago, he led the league in touchdowns. So,
Steve, that was 3 years ago.
Okay.
He's old. He's getting old.
Same with Derrick Henry. I love Derrick Henry.
Big Dog's different. Big Dog's built different.
Yeah,
I'm a big dog. I love the big dog. So hence my exposure to Derrick Henry. A lot of people, I've watched the ETR offensive line, and then I watched another show ETR put out about, it was about dead zone running backs or something, but they were kind of more for like reflecting upon like FFPC and home leagues and stuff like that. But their concern is, I guess, Ravens offensive line is a little weaker this year. and that kind of stuff. Does that have any concerns for you for Derrick Henry? I mean, I just still think the nice thing about Lamar is he doesn't vulture touchdowns like a Josh Allen. So,
Yeah.
I just still think he's getting all those carries. Yeah, he might have to get it more on touchdowns than he's not getting it in the air. And is he going to have, what is his total yardage? But I mean, I just still think he's going to be the workhorse. So do you have any concerns about the Ravens offensive line? Let me say that, because I just watched that show.
No, they've I know they lost some pieces, but it's not like they did nothing this offseason. They still have some guys. They need to stay healthy. I mean, that's key. Had some injury issues in the past, and their depth is no longer.
Is it their depth is more questionable?
Yeah, I mean, well, they're playing at least one or two first-year starters, but
okay.
But these are guys who they've invested in. It's not like these are, just guys off the street.
Well, Justin agrees with you. He took Alvin Kamara at 78, so like that.
Yeah.
So his last two picks, love DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, absolutely love I know Justin is very high on the Titans stacks too. So he got some more Titan stack action with Titans action with DeAndre Hopkins, and then Kamara with his last two picks. And then we are coming around the 7-8 turn now. Did Warren go before Najee?
Yeah. Najee hasn't gone yet.
I mean, Felix, let's all shake our collective heads at that one. I mean, come on, Felix.
Yeah.
Though I did see Felix hedged off as Najee. It looks on his exposures. It looks like he had like 80% Najee and like 18% Warren. So he must, like, when he doesn't get Najee, he gets Warren. He just like soaks up that Pittsburgh backfield, which actually is pretty damn smart.
Yeah. I mean, Arthur Smith has been a running back whisperer,
Mm-hmm. So that's smart. I like that. Like idea. If you're going heavy on something, then, hedge it off that way. I think that makes a ton of sense. So Justin's coming up on his 8th round, and then we'll take a look at ours and what we're going to do. So yeah, around the turn, Kyler is another quarterback I need to get more of. He went at the 7. I think he's been going a little higher, 7-8 turn. So went Kyler, Jameson, Jonathan Brooks, James Conner, Jaden Daniels. Najee went then in the 8th round. DeAndre Swift, Jake Ferguson to Bernie. That's a nice one, Bernie. And we are up in 2. So we are up at like 94 and 100. We're up in 1. We have a 1-2-4, which I know is like a good start for us. So up on the clock, I'll throw out a couple that I like. I know there's some good camp speak about Curtis Samuel. So
I would go Zamir White, though.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a different running back by both. There's one downside to Monty.
Good call.
But the other thing is, I do think we'll get a receiver here.
Yeah, we're only 4 away.
And even if
let me see.
These two are gone, I love Josh.
Yeah,
Josh Palmer.
I have Tyler Lockett's fine too, but I have 15%. I have 13% Palmer, but really good coach speak on Palmer too. He opens up another stack. I mean, I just got in the I keep wanting to say pug, corgi, the corgi. I keep getting. I'll let in between, like say. Let me make this pick and then I'll explain what the hell I'm trying to say. Who would you take? I would take Palmer. Or would you?
I would take Palmer.
Okay, it opens up another stack. I mean, obviously you could stack Knicks or whatever, but I like Palmer. So, how are we doing on receiver buys? So we got 6-11, 6-11. Oh, yeah. Okay. So no more 6 or 11, and we're getting a bye week 5.
Yep.
So we started 1-3-5, which basically we talk a lot, you and I, about our favorite start is like a 1-3-5-1, and we're set to do that unless we don't love where we're at tight end and 18 picks, and then we could take another running back or another receiver. So good structural start, I'd say. So what I was trying to say about Herbert is, what's his ADP is 134.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of times where I'll be like, should I take him at 120, like a little early?
Yeah.
And if you let him go, I mean, people are just letting him fall. Like essentially if they don't have, so if say, I think in the I'm not doing a good job explaining this.
Yeah,
but
there's no major stack partner.
there's no, yeah. If you just have one of the guys, you just need to hope essentially one of Ladd McConkey or Josh Palmer. You just need to hope that the other person isn't grabbing Herbert ahead. And if they don't, then they usually fall to, he's been falling into the 140s. And to me, that's like mind blowing that we're getting Justin Herbert in the 140s. And I've done some where, not a lot, but I've done a couple, and I actually have loved them, where I take both McConkey and Palmer, and then that really forces it to that I can get Herbert in the 140s, and I absolutely love it. And that's usually like then my second stack too,
Well, and that's the thing. And if we look to do that in this kind of build, not take him in either of these next two picks and hope he comes back, it makes sense when you have Patrick Mahomes as your number one.
Right, right.
When you have a truly elite number one, and you don't have to get, where if we had a, like a Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams or somebody like that as our number one quarterback, I wouldn't feel as good. And I would say, maybe we need if that's who we want as our second stack, if that's the best option, then maybe you reach a little bit. But when you have a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen, somebody like that, you can wait and get Herbert as a perfect second stack.
Yeah. I just brought over on Best Ball Overlay, different window. I brought over Hollywood Brown Mahomes stacks, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of like my 90 some drafts. I do have 5 Mahomes Hollywood stacks. But actually what I've done it the most with, 4 of the 5 are Christian McCaffrey builds that I'd start like because you get it around that turn. Yeah. So we were able to get a little later, and that's why I like that we did this. It's a little different. I think I have 1 with a Lamb and 4 with McCaffrey. So this allows you to get 1 with Tyreek Hill, Yeah. So again, I would have never guessed that if you said, "Oh, well, you have 5 of your." Again, I don't know. I need to do a re-upload, but I'm not that far behind where I'm at. Which once I finish these 2 slows, I'll be at like 102, 103. Of the 95 that are uploaded into Best Ball Overlay, I would have never guessed of my 5 of 95 Mahomes Hollywood stacks that 4 of those 5 are Christian McCaffrey. But it makes sense because it's easy to get that at the turn, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, the other time I got it was with Liam, again, around the turn, and now we got it at the 3rd spot. So you just keep pushing it so that I can get it with different combos, and that's the kind of, decisions that I want to be able to do. So, okay, so we are coming around 9th round finished up, of course. Oh, nice, Bernie. Steve and I, Washington fans who I hope, Mom, Dad, if you're listening, I'm sorry, you might be wearing some like navy and silver this year because I just have so much Dak. Love the Dak Ferguson stack.
And then getting Brandon Cooks also.
Oh, man. Bernie's winning this one. Bernie's winning it. I called it. Okay. And we'll talk about what's going on in the draft after we make our pick. So we are at, actually, let me see the numbers. We are at 118. Then we'll be back around at 123. We are at a 1351. We talked about, do we want to do a 1351? I don't think we need to force it because you can get these guys a little later. Yeah. So running backs, I know you like, a Singletary just went. So there's Elliott a little farther down, or I think we could talk about Chubb later. I don't have any Adonai. No, I don't love Adonai Mitchell. I like the other guy. I like Polk. I like Polk.
Yeah. But this seems kind of a reach. I would take Gus Edwards. Oh, no, never mind. He's week 5. Don't take Gus Edwards.
Yeah. I'm just going Elliott.
I like Elliott a lot. There's even some talk that Rico Dowd is not as locked in.
Yeah, but then I saw some stuff of him today, but then they talk up who's the other guy?
Royce Freeman, yeah.
But you don't think that threatens Zeke at all? Okay. It's more, they were more implying it's Zeke, then Royce Freeman, then Elliott is fighting it, or excuse me, then Dowd's fighting out with whatever. But then okay, sorry. I need more Polk, and this is one that it's not just camp highlights. It's good beat, like drum beat from camp. That's one that I wouldn't hate since we got our 4th running back. Or where are we at? Yeah, 123 too early. We wouldn't force Herbert here. So I'll throw out one other thing, and this sounds insane, but would you do this? And then you're done at running back. And then you've got like a sick running back room. And then we just hammer everything else.
I'll say no. I'd rather do. Oh,
damn it.
That's fine.
Went.
What about tight end? Do you want to take a Schultz or Freiermuth here?
They just don't. They don't blow my hair back. You know what I mean? They don't. 17 seconds. Why don't you like?
Freiermuth correlates with Mahomes week 17.
It's I mean, why don't you like Chubb? I think I'm going to do it.
It's just we already have a week 10. We have 2 week 5s. I think there's some structural risk.
It's too late. It happened.
I mean,
I want to experiment.
I've done some of these like 1-5-5s, you know.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. I like the structural of 1-5-5, and then obviously we were waiting a little bit. We're hoping Herbert falls, but we were waiting a little bit on the second and third quarterback because we invested early in Mahomes. Okay, so we're doing that anyways. I don't mind late round tight end. I'm not going to reach for Herbert, Freiermuth just because of the correlation. Like it, if it falls to us, great, but not going to reach for it. When I can get Nick Chubb as my 5th running back and then we're done. I mean, this is like I do. Justin, if you're watching, I use the line for any position, the Seinfeld line, just dip the chip and end it. Like we've dipped the chip enough on running backs, end it. We're done. And so now we can just focus on building out other stacks with quarterbacks, receivers, depth receiver, and yeah, it's going to be more probably of a late round tight end build, but that's okay. I mean, Justin's getting first place in this contest, this pod. He gets Lawrence
with Kirk.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh man. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's going to get first in this pod. So we're playing for second, Steve. So that's okay. Yeah. That's all right. I believe in us. I like what we got going here too. We should make a fun side bet on this one, Bruni. See how this one goes. Cause I really do love your team. So anyways, I was looking at my Mahomes on best ball overlay. Did I pull up? Yeah, the board. I was looking at my Mahomes outside of McCaffrey. Are there any players that I have a ton of? Roman Wilson, that's not shocking because it correlates, and I'm obsessed with Roman Wilson. Hence why I had, that was a scary moment for me the other morning. Mooney, Russell Wilson, Eckler. Not going to do that. So yeah, nothing else too crazy other than Roman Wilson, which I'm sure I'm going to want to click.
I mean, hey, he might slide around or two. So
yeah, you know. Yeah. So his report is basically like we don't know exactly what it is, ankle, but likely a sprain.
Oh yeah, there was some more that came out today. I kind of
what was it today?
I just kind of skimmed it, but I think the expectation is he's probably going to miss the next week or two. 2 weeks maybe. Mm-hmm. So it's going to cut into preseason, all that, but there's a very real chance he's back by week 1. And it's not a real issue. So,
yeah.
It's going to help. It's going to hurt his
he's not going to get a lot of work. And yeah. Hey, I'm with that. When I saw the cart thing, which you made a good point, we have a chain, a Fanspeak chain, and you said the cart comes out a hell of a lot more in preseason.
Yeah, these guys walk. Maybe I don't know what it is at Steelers camp at St. Vincent's, but
good old St. Vincent, yeah.
I'm guessing it's not right next door, so they're probably walking maybe a quarter of a mile or whatever. They're not going to have a guy who, even if his ankle is perfectly healthy, they're not going to have a guy walk on a bad ankle.
So basically, anytime there's anything, the cart's coming
especially
out,
anything leg related. Yeah.
Yes. So it definitely does not mean season's over. Sometimes, unfortunately, means season's over. I remember last year when we got the Tim Patrick news, I was like, no, I had already. And then you're sad for the guy, you're sad for the team. Those reports suck. They absolutely suck. So I was so scared, and I'm glad it's day to day, or week to week, or looks like he'll be okay. So okay, so we took Nick Chubb. We're dipping the chip and ending it. Josh Downs, not Danny Mitchell. Josh Downs is who I want to get more of, Steve. Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's something I'm like literally making a list of guys I want to push and guys I want to pump the brakes, and Josh Downs wanted more of.
Yeah. Has Mitchell gone? Oh, he did go. And that's the thing. Like the report is him and Alec Pierce are basically splitting that role.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, that's why I
which
did not
was
mean
my
I meant Josh.
expectation as soon
My
as the
head
draft
meant
happened.
Josh Downs. And what did you say your
It
expectation?
was my
were?
expectation as soon as the draft happened. That's what I wrote about. Like Adonai Mitchell was going to probably split the work with Alec Pierce this year.
Yeah, let's make our picks, and then we can talk about what the board's been
Herbert
doing.
just went.
Shit. Okay, it wasn't Justin. Damn, that was Freiermuth fell.
Well, assuming he makes this pick, but yeah.
Assuming, so that was one that
Schuster, Woo, do not take Freiermuth.
Oh, he's really making us sweat it out here.
Down to the wire. If he's auto, he's taking Freiermuth, unfortunately.
Yeah, is he the top of the board?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well.
There's no correlation, but I don't have much commit. And then let's look receivers. This is not the area I love, but I know you love Mooney. That would be because then you could potentially set up a Cousins.
Yeah. Oh, Cousins, I'm sure will be gone. But
okay, quick decide.
Take Mooney. Take Mooney. If we're
up in 4 picks, you don't know the Cousins is going to be gone.
Oh, I mean, not definitely, but neither of these guys have a second quarterback, and they have 4 picks, so he's the top of the.
Well, are you fine with Cousins since we got sniped on Herbert?
Yeah, no, I am. I love Cousins. So
I mean, we all know that I'm okay with the late round tight end build. So, okay, so I mean, I love my Achilles twins of A-Rod, and I think I have like 26% A-Rod, and they're currently 18, hoping to push it a little higher here with Kirk Cousins. So hoping, don't care because I'm getting, A-Rod and Cousins as my second, usually third. Damn it. Okay, that didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's early, but
I'd take Musgrave.
Yeah, just get Musgrave.
Yeah, just
okay.
Let's good offense and hope that.
Yeah, we're just targeting good offenses for obviously, especially the tight ends. Okay, so let's do a quick assessment. Then we'll look at the board since we have a little 18 pick break. So we have a 1-5-6-1. We had a 1-5-5. Hoping to get a Herbert stack that got sniped. We got Mooney hoping to get a Cousins Cousins stack that got sniped. So we have 1-5-6-1 Mahomes, Saquon, Montgomery, Zamir White, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb. We're done there. Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Josh Palmer, Darnell Mooney. Yes, those two we're hoping to stack. That's okay. Still love them as receivers. Luke Musgrave, Riggs, lay down. Luke Musgrave. So stacking situations. We have Baker Mayfield.
Bryce Young.
Thank you. Brain is.
But those guys have the same buy, so
we could get one of those. Let me just. I want to keep an eye. Well, I'll queue both, but we know not to take both. And then there are guys in this range that we could backstack too, especially with the tight end since we need tight ends.
Yeah.
Like Derek Carr, like Bryce Young too, but Will Levis. We have our buys 6 right now. Geno Smith, if we got Fant, he's one that I need to get more of. Aaron Rodgers, if I want to keep going, on Aaron Rodgers. So obviously the Baker Mayfield makes the most stack because and Bryce Young, you're stacking them with his number 1. Okay, we talked that through a little. Let's now look at the board, and then we'll talk it through more as we get closer. Our friend Justin is crushing it. He got 2 others that we love. Dalton Schultz, I think, past ADP. Ty Chandler is another one I absolutely love. He's like one of my favorite running back clicks, and I think he's been going way higher than 150. So to get him there is really, really nice. Anything in these last couple.
J.K. Dobbins, look where Dobbins.
Yeah, he's flying up. Talk about camp reports. I mean, he's already back, and then just like you said, Vidal's running with. Basically is what 3rd or 4th totem in the totem pole. And then Dobbins has just absolutely shot up boards and rankings. So, that's why I wanted to look, where did Herbert go? Okay. But to my point, his ADP is like 32, and he went 138. So he almost fell back. We were 3 picks away. I assume this guy had McConkey Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, you really just have, that's the crazy thing with Herbert. It's Justin Herbert, but because he doesn't have a lot of great backstack options, you really just have to dodge. If you have Ladd or Palmer, you really just have to dodge that other guy. We were not able to dodge Ladd, but the Ladd stack guy. So that's okay. Yeah, loving Justin's draft. Other than that, nothing else too crazy I'm seeing. Vidal does go right after J.K. Dobbins.
I'd say 4 Minute and Fire, taking Bateman and Ray Davis with these 2 picks is a little interesting.
Why? Just early for both?
I think very reach. I mean, Ray Davis kind of goes in that area, but I don't think there's the data to support it.
So we're up in 2. Are you fine? This is a right around Mayfield's ADP.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no problem taking Mayfield there. Yeah.
Yeah, because you do have Fant just went. That was the one I talked about. If you want to get like a Fant Geno or something like that, but I'm not, obviously I'm in on the Browns run game actually, even though I know they could be pass heavier. We could talk about that in a minute actually.
Well, we made the bet on Chubb, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm saying in general. No. Yeah.
I'm
saying I'm high on the Browns run game. I take Chubb and Ford a ton. I don't take the Browns passing game outside of trying to get a little more Njoku and occasionally Cooper. So I wasn't going to take him anyways. Rodgers, I have 27% of, and we would have to backstack. I do love my Rodgers Conklin. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mayfield here. And then we can decide we'll be up in 4 at 171. Bryce Young, I'll take off the board. So receiver, let's just take a quick look. Thielen, there he is. And then there's my guy Conklin too. So
I take Kate Otten also.
And then the stack is clear. Yeah. With Kate Otten. So, so what do you prefer? Do you prefer to get the stack and get the second tight end?
Yeah.
Over my Roman Wilson?
Well, Roman Wilson's probably going to slide. I wouldn't be surprised if Wilson comes back to us, given the injury news.
I don't know. I saw him go in the Corgi the other day. I need more Otten too. So this is good.
But that it's different in a fast with the news coming out that he's probably missing essentially preseason.
Yeah.
I mean, is everyone paying attention to news? No, clearly not. But Vidal went, before Dobbins.
No, he went right after Dobbins.
Yeah, either way, he should not be going anywhere near. In fact, Vidal.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. I was wrong. Brother, sister. I always think I'm right. I'm not. A lot of Steve's right more than I am. You're right. Vidal went right before Dobbins. Let me pull up the board here correctly. Okay. Yeah. Vidal went at 154, Dobbins 156. Yeah. Geno, a lot of quarterbacks went a little bit earlier. But we got Mayfield. We have our second stack. Then we furthered it with Otten. I think I saw Tyler in here. Always love to see him. Howdy, good luck on the home stretch this season. Thank you. Yeah, home stretch August is really, like I said, going to be using that best ball overlay, pushing these exposures for sure. Tyler, we have an 8-hour live stream, as you can see on the calendar. Might need to get you back in the streets with us. We're going to be booking guests this month, Andrew and I. And very excited for our 8-hour live stream. And again, remember, road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000 subs, we'll be doing a $1,000 giveaway party. So look for that. Can't wait. We'll probably have a couple giveaways during the 8-hour live stream as well. Okay, for the home stretch of this draft, Steve, do you see this? Obviously, we stopped at running back. We have let me just take a quick peek. There goes Levis. So we have there goes Roman Wilson. But to your point, yeah, he went 180. We have a 2.562. I mean, you and I know we have Mahomes, but I don't mind getting like a late or last round quarterback. So 2.562, I assume you are comfortable with a 3.573 because let's see, receiver pacing. We still got, 3x6, 4x6. 5x9, and then we got a 6th in the 12th. especially if we got a receiver here in the 16th, I think a 3.573 would be good.
I would take think I'd go tight end and quarterback with these next two picks and take a receiver last. I think we're strong at receiver, and receiver still has the most value in the 18th round.
Really? I feel like tight end has the most value in the last
I
round.
mean, some of those guys might not be playing, like, I mean, and a guy like I would have targeted, Juwan Johnson, just went. So,
well, I think some of these tight ends people are getting smart on, and they're flying up boards and stuff.
I mean,
I'm telling you, I've seen some tight ends I still love in the last round.
I mean, you can still sometimes get Juwan Johnson. You can still get sometimes Colby Parkinson there, but just like
Jelani Woods sometimes.
Jelani Woods, the reports are not good on Jelani Woods.
Oh shit!
Sounds like Kyle Granson is ahead of him.
Damn it.
So,
okay, so you feel really good about our receiver room with Tyreek Hill, Evans, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Josh Palmer, Mooney to take one late.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's talk through if you're kind of looking for a stack here. I mean, I do love Jonnu. Will Levis is gone, but I like that. Anything that you
I like. I mean, they're not stacking options, but Gesicki and Parkinson are I think guys who.
That you could wait on. We're not taking
sure.
them here. Okay, so what quarterbacks do you like here? If we wanted a fourth, unfortunately, Juwan Johnson, Derek Carr would have been one I would have suggested, but he's gone. I mean, we could also, since we have Deontay, do like a 2-week 11 and hope one of them is healthy and fine for,
we could do like,
that's not the craziest thing either,
Yeah. We could do like a Drake May and take, what's his name? Javon Baker, in the 18th round.
Baker's got to be going before that, doesn't he? He's getting a lot of camp steam. He's gone already.
Oh, wow.
No, he's been getting a ton of camp steam.
That's shocking.
He looks good in camp. I mean, Polk is the one that I need to get more of.
Yeah. The other one, I mean,
quickly, what?
Go to quarterback. Never mind. Daniel Jones just went because we do Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton.
I think his ass is going to get
his buy is the same. I mean, it could, but so could some of these other guys.
Okay. Do you want to do Jonnu Smith?
I'd say Jonnu.
Yeah, I love Jonnu. Just getting access to that Miami offense feels really, really, really good. So we got our 3 tight ends. We're done there. I'm going to get rid of these guys. Here's the question. We could go unstacked May, but the thing is, he's probably not playing week 6. So what's the difference between him and a stacked Bryce Young? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. Just go to quarterback real quick.
Sure.
And we could take Bo Nix and Josh Reynolds.
Ooh. I don't hate that because I want to do more of the 18th round, like scroll down type guys, Yeah. Wait, what bye week is he's 14?
14.
I mean, you feel confident Bo Nix is starting.
Oh yeah. Like seems to be well ahead.
I mean, I only have 3% too, so I don't hate it. All right, you want to do that?
Yeah. The question is, will Josh Reynolds come back? Just because there have been some good reports lately.
Yeah, I saw Hayden Winks talking about him as a good weekly winners pick too, like a scroll down weekly winners pick, because that's another technique in weekly winners. You scroll down, and then you can get like a very unique player, on a weekly team. That's nice.
So we'll have to have backup options just in case he does go. It is possible, but Bo Nix has some rushing upside, so he's not as good as May, but he could have some fine standalone value if need be.
Yeah, hold on, let me pull over the board. Okay, so we are in the home stretch here, and Bruni gets Bryce Young, who he had Adam Thielen and Chuba Hubbard. So, I mean, he is crushing this draft, absolutely crushing this draft. Bruni, go ahead and mark this. Megan predicts definitely playoffs, but I will predict a semifinals or finals appearance from this draft. That's how good I feel about this. I can't, it's hard to predict finals. Finals are freaking hard, but I am very, very impressed with your draft and jealous at the same time.
No, I like what he did. He waited on quarterback, still got Dak, still got two other guys.
Lawrence and
Yeah,
he
and
got
Lawrence
Dak,
and
Lawrence, and Bryce Young all heavily correlated.
all heavily correlated.
He put nasty draft for the 6th spot. Wait till you see this ADP. And then he says he's got a bunch of grants in the big board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying hard to keep up with all the reports. I've been trying to ignore all the just damn clips. I'm so sick. Do the clips slow down? I forget once preseason starts because they're not.
Then they're preseason clips.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that. The just the stupid catches clips. I'm like, who cares? I need context. So.
Yeah, but even those can be very
What,
misleading.
the preseason clips?
Yeah. So.
Better than the practice ones with them. So then you hear the dumb fans yelling in the background. It's like, nobody cares. We need context. Like, again, I just keep thinking we saw this with Jalen Hyatt and Quentin Johnson last year. Everybody needs to relax. Though so 2 rookies that I will say, yes, there's good like camp clips, but there's also like major drumbeat and coach speak is Polk later, guys, Polk and McMillan. And they're 2 guys that I was like open to, but really haven't gotten a lot of. I know Tyler in the chat has been very high on McMillan, calls them McMillions, but those are 2 guys that I need to get more of. Where are you on your
2
Polk?
Washington receivers outside?
Yeah, makes sense. So where are you on Polk and McMillan?
I've been taking McMillan more. I've been decent on Polk, but I've been taking McMillan more because I just didn't know versus Trey Palmer how that was going to shake out, but it does seem like McMillan is clearly ahead of him.
Oh, yeah. The coach speak is insane. So, here's another one getting good coach speak and drum beat. And low owned, I've seen people talk about you get like a Andre Sovas, I butchered that name probably, versus a Burton, and you're getting like 100%. I think Adam from Levitan from ETR just tweeted, so I want to credit the right person, tweeted like Burton's going to be 100% owned, Sovas is going to be, and ETR does projections of what they are going to be owned, and Sovas is going to be far from much owned. And so somebody, I'm not sure if this person had Burrow or not, but regardless decided in probably some kind of Bengals correlation and did that. And we are going to see if we can get a low owned Josh Reynolds as our last pick. Something I would not mind. As you can see, I have done it, but only 1%.
So
and Bruni gets Tolbert too. That's like my favorite 18th round guy.
Oh, whole Dallas stack there.
Oh, I freaking love it. I love it.
Yeah. I think we probably stole Elliott from him from just total team correlation.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Okay, we got Reynolds. So once we are done in 1 second, we'll go to the draft, look at the whole thing, use Best Ball Overlay to see the correlations on our team and Bruni's team and talk it through. But first gut reaction, I'm happy with this team, Steve.
Yeah, we definitely have stacks. We don't have as much like correlation.
There's some.
And but honestly, again, correlation that the correlation for the winner last year was Alexander Madison to go with Love and Jaden Reed.
He had some skinnies, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean his like correlation with his the quarterback who won him.
Well, the Love bring back, the Love Reed bring back was nothing. Was the guy who got benched.
And he had Tua, didn't have any Ravens. He had
Stroud, he did not win. Or no, well, he didn't want Tua in the finals or the
but I mean,
he wanted Lamar, but he didn't.
But my point is, he wasn't building out Week 17 correlation.
He didn't run the Tua Mostert back. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at our two teams here. We'll just start with our team and end on Justin's high note, since we're crowning him the minus 120 to be minus 140 to be the number 1 in this pod. But from the 3 spot, we did a 3-5-7-3. Got Hill, did not do Tua, mixed it up and got a Mahomes stack. So Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Bo Nix, Saquon Barkley, David Montgomery, Zamir White, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb. We'll go through correlations after I go through the whole team here. Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Josh Palmer, Darnell Mooney, and Josh Reynolds. And tight ends, Luke Musgrave, Kate Otten, and Jonathan Smith. So obviously stacked, we have Mahomes and Hollywood Brown. I don't think there's a Pittsburgh run back week 17 there. And then we have Baker Mayfield with Mike Evans and Kate Otten and the Deontay Johnson run back. And Josh Palmer week 15. Because every week matters, especially in BBM. And then Bo Nix with and Ezekiel Elliott had a week 16 to Tampa. Nick Chubb has a week 15 to Kansas City. So, those are something. And then Bo Nix and obviously Josh Reynolds. And I don't think there's any bringbacks there. So
there is not for week 17, but week 16 we have Josh Palmer.
Oh, Josh. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, we were shooting for like our quarterback 2 to be Herbert or Cousins. Didn't work, but I think we pivoted well to Baker and then further stacked him out with Kate Otten. We kind of waited on tight end, but I think a room of Luke Musgrave, Otten, Jonnu Smith is really, really nice. And obviously because we got Mahomes, we waited on 2 later quarterbacks. Again, got sniped on 2, but still got 2 that we're happy with in Baker and then Bo Nix and Lowe and Josh Reynolds. So every room I'm comfortable with. We hammered running back, but then we stopped. So yeah, I'm really happy with it overall. And I think it was different getting a Mahomes combo with a different player other than McCaffrey or Liam. So that's my thoughts. I like it. What do you think, Steve?
Well, no. And what I also liked, we didn't miss out on the Herbert or Cousins, like getting Mahomes allowed us to do that 1-5-5 type build, because we have a top quarterback and we knew if all else fails, we can wait. And like I said earlier, like if we had a weaker top quarterback, then we maybe reach for Justin Herbert. But because we didn't, we were able to get a really strong 5th receiver, 5 really strong running backs, and even our 6th receiver. I mean, Darnell Mooney, it still amazes me how late this guy's going. Former 1,000-yard receiver going into Zach Robinson offense, from the Sean McVay tree with Kirk Cousins in a dome. Sign me up. That's what
I don't think there's been any negative coach speak on him, has there?
No,
because someone posted a clip of him dropping a ball, and I'm like, the guys are going to have drop. Like these dumb practice clips annoy the hell out of me. Like there's been no bad coach speak on him, though, right?
No. There's actually been worse coach speak on Rondale Moore, but there's just nobody else there. I mean, there's not a lot of competition. So
I mean, obviously we get the top 2 targets, and then probably a third Bijan, but like he should, still have a role and probably likely a spike week role in this offense.
That's his game. He's a deep threat guy. And we've seen it with other top tier offenses like the Gabe Davis types, Christian Watson, these guys who can have these big spike weeks, but maybe aren't there week in, week out.
All right. Well, any other notes on our team before we look at Bruni's?
I think we wait on tight end, but I still am pretty happy with the room. I don't think we got a lot of uncertainty because there is uncertainty with some of those later round picks, like we kind of talked about. And I just think the way we built it allowed us to wait for the last round for Reynolds, and I kind of like that. I mean, there's so many guys, either these like thin or not thin, but the Silvases, the Reynolds, those types of guys, or the guys like who Bruni got, the Jalen Colbert, the Darius Slayton, guys who are in much better positions. There's just so many still going in that final round.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Bruni from the 6th position, we're noting how much we loved his draft throughout the entire draft. So let's break it down. So from the 6th position, you got 3, 5, 8, 2. So we loved his quarterback stacks we saw playing out. Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, all correlated and stacked. So then he gets Derrick Henry, massive anchor. Honestly, I think Alvin Kamara is considered probably by today's standards a double anchor or a modified double anchor. So like that. So Henry, Kamara, Ty Chandler, love it. Chuba, love it. And Elijah Mitchell is like a 5th. And then Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, Christian Kirk, Terry McLaurin, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Cooks, Adam Thielen, and Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, and Dalton Schultz. So yeah, getting 2 in those mid-range, you could just go 2. Obviously very, very correlated with, you can see with obviously the Dak, Brandon Cooks, Tolbert, Ferguson. And then Carolina, he got, then Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk, run back with, you can see the underline run back with Hopkins. There's some other run backs in other weeks for some of the other teams. And then of course, Bryce Young, he has with Chuba. And I love this running back. and he got receiver Adam Thielen, and he was shooting, I believe, for Jatavian Sanders too. So yeah, love that. And then other correlation, week 15 Thielen correlation, a big week 17 Hopkins to Jacksonville correlation. I believe there was one in the running backs, maybe not, but yeah, no, just absolutely very nice stacked team with all three quarterbacks. Love the anchor of Henry. I know you are higher in Kamara than me, but to start Henry Kamara, and then I love the next two running backs a lot. Yeah, I love this team. Definitely think it's a minus 140 chance to be coming number one out of the pod here. Any thoughts on his team before we get out of here, Steve?
Yeah, no, I mean that's the way you wait on. If you're waiting on quarterback, that's the way you do it. You then kind of hit two in that kind of mid range, which you did with Dak and Lawrence. And Dak, he didn't have the primary stack. He didn't have Lamb, so he just got everyone else.
Yeah,
And that. And then, kind of did the same thing with Bryce Young backstacking, which, I mean, the value we talked about before in both Hubbard and Thielen is just crazy. And Thielen,
wow, he does have crazy ADP value on everything too. He said, check out the ADP value. I'm scrolling through, and most of it is like insane.
Yeah, I mean, he got Thielen a round later, 162 to 174, a round later, for a guy who Leggett is, all the coach speak is he's buried. Like, Thielen is going to be the number 2 behind Deontay Johnson.
Right.
And Thielen finished as wide receiver 25 last year in half-point DPR in the worst offense.
Yeah.
Even with him going behind Deontay Johnson, this offense should improve. He can probably not top 25, but if he's a top 40 receiver and where he got him at 174,
look at his quarterbacks, especially Dak. And Dak, he got 95, 102 ADP 195. Lawrence got it 126 ADP 119. A few picks later for Bryce Young. But basically, you scroll down and he got ADP value almost everywhere. And I mean, I'm a girl that says go get your guys when necessary or your stacks or that kind of stuff. But when you can build it out like this and get that like kind of things that felt like Debo fell perfectly, there was another one, a couple on McLaurin, right around ADP on some of the others.
Yeah,
like you said,
the running backs, they got some value. Kamara was like half a round.
Yeah,
Chandler was like
I knew Chandler was in the 140s. So yeah, you definitely got some awesome. Not only do I think you built like just a solidly built, well correlated team, but you also got really good ADP value too, and that always feels good, too. So yeah, I love it. Any final thoughts, Steve, before we get out of here? This was a fun one.
No, this is definitely a fun one. I think
good to be back in the live stream streets.
Had a great draft, but I liked what we did as well. We need some runouts there with like how the running backs pan out with Chubb. But if Chubb comes back with a vengeance, and we're in the playoffs, that's a very dangerous running back room.
Well, that's why I love when I can get Chubb at around ADP and get him as my 5th running back. So thank you to you, Justin, again, and congrats on a sick, amazing team. Love it. Good to be back in the live stream streets. As you can see on the ticker, we have a road to 1K subs, $1,000 of giveaways once we hit that. And then the other big news is 8-hour live stream. Mark your calendars, August 23rd. Friends of Best Ball Friday is just extending to a huge party from 4 to midnight. So be sure to mark your calendars for that. So Steve will be back to our live stream rotation and plenty of other content on fanspeak.com here on the channel. We thank you guys so much for joining us. For Steve, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.